Welcome to the Healing Incubator podcast. I am your host, Kiana F. Brown, the forgiveness expert, and we are all about the truth, forgiveness, and healing. You are entering a controlled environment where there are others who are reaching to grow in their entrepreneurial journeys, personal lives, and self-care. Are you ready to heal? Hey guys, it's Kiana F. Brown, your forgiveness expert. And that's right, you already know where you are. This is the Healing Incubator podcast. Super excited about our dynamic guest this evening, this morning. I don't know, you might be listening to this and it might be midnight, but I am super excited. Awesome, beautiful, young, talented, gifted, extraordinary, wonderful. I mean, just so amazing things in the world, helping other people grow and build the vision that God has given to them. And so her name is T. Goodwin. I'm not going to tell you all that I was trying to say something else, but it's Tijania Goodwin. But today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. We're going to be talking about greed. We're going to be talking about jealousy. We're going to talk about envy. Now, I have some quotes for you. One quote was unknown. You can't expect loyalty from people who would do anything. As long as greed is stronger than compassion, there will always be suffering. And I find those and right and clearly relevant to what they're saying. I know that when I was in a position in a season of greed, I was suffering. And sometimes we're not those people who are heavy-headed with greed, but you can accidentally fall into a place of greed. But I had to, of course, check myself. I had to get to my truth, forgive myself, and start to heal so that I can move on. But guys, we have Miss T. Goodwin with us and do this. Hey, T.
Hey.
How are you? Well, first of all, I'm super excited about having you here today, especially seeing all of the amazing creative things that you're doing throughout the globe. I'll say that because I'm making you global. I'm
Yes.
gonna say that your name
Yes.
is gonna be everywhere. But but let's talk about who you are and why you do what you do before we get into this topic today. So I don't read a bio because I love for you all to
Listen.
share. So I know what you do, but it's better coming from the horse's mouth.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Like she said, I don't know if it's morning, noon, or night, wherever you are located, but I am T. Goodwin. I am the founder and the creator of the Divine Connections Agency here in Philadelphia, but I build brands nationwide and worldwide. So basically, I am a brand strategist. I'm an author. I'm a creative director. I'm a brand consultant. I wear a lot of hats. Okay. But I have been a creator ever since I could ever remember. And I just love creating, whether it's writing or being on a set for a photo shoot. And I just love being in that atmosphere because it gets my mind going, it gets my adrenaline going, and I just get so excited for other people when they want to build their businesses or their brand. So I'm super excited to be here today, and I can't wait for this conversation.
Awesome. So you heard our topic for today. But alongside with the topic and the quotes that we share today, we like to go to the Bible. Everybody who listens to this podcast know I'm about the word. I'm in the word. Amen. And so I wanted to kind of read this scripture that I was reading in Psalm 73. And I'm actually reading from the NIV version at verse 8. They scoff, they speak with malice, with ignorance, they threaten oppression. Their mouths lay claim to heaven, and their tongue possession of the earth. Therefore, their people turn to them and drink up waters in abundance. And then I want to go down to 12. This is what the wicked are like, always free of care. They go on with amazing wealth. And then I'm going to go down to 18. Surely you go place them on slippery ground. You cast them down to ruin. How suddenly they are destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. Now, people probably like, what? What are you talking about? A person who has envy in their heart feels that they are above everyone else. We are people who look at other people. It's like, oh man, you're doing such an amazing job. And we don't even understand how much we're glorifying that other person. We're not
Hmm.
supposed to glorify another person. We're supposed to glorify God. And so I
Right.
wanted to talk about this topic because later in the latter part I read, it was just pretty much sharing how those people who are in a position of not satisfying God's praise while doing something and doing it out
Hmm.
of selfishness, that they're
Mm.
going to have an early demise, right? And so I know that in your industry, you run across, there you go, billions of people who might
Hmm.
be in a position that is an entrepreneur that is looking at someone else's journey and they're talking to you about trying to get to where someone else is. And so
Right.
they might have a little bit of envy in their heart. Uh, and I think that you can do it subconsciously. You can
Right.
look
You
at
can.
someone and see what they're doing and be like, dang, I wish I was there. I wish I could do that.
Hmm.
I I want to know from your experiences, have you ran across situations like that, and even in your own personal journey? And if so, because we're talking to the entrepreneurs today, and even people in their self walk and in their life, because you can get mixed up. But how did you help someone handle or reposition themselves, and how, if you have done that with yourself, how did that work out?
Like you said, we actually have those thoughts like subconsciously. So, of course, social media is the root of all evil. We say, money is the root of all evil, but social media is the root of all evil because social media will have you so caught up in other people's lives that you honestly start feeling like you're not doing something right. You can
Yeah.
see this magnificent couple and they on vacation and he buying her Birkin bags and all kind of stuff. And you like, well, dang, I can't get that. Like, and you're here, you thinking like, well, my relationship good. Like, why I can't get that kind of stuff? But we cannot
Hmm.
compare ourselves to other people. I tell people all the
Yes.
time, the blueprints are not the same. The blueprints are not the same. I've caught myself actually falling into some stages of depression sometimes. Early
Mm.
on, like when I was looking at other people, like, well, dang, I can't have that, and that could have been in business or in my personal life. But I had to realize, like,
Mhm.
what's meant for them is meant for them. What's meant for me is meant for me.
Yeah.
And like you said, on the business side, yes, I've had clients come to me and say, well, such and such is here and they sell this and I want to be there too. And I'm like, sometimes that's not how the hand is dealt. They could have known somebody who may have
Mhm.
been an angel investor who made their business go boom. Or, the situations are different. Sometimes some people show up more when they do their marketing campaigns and everything works out better in their favor. But sometimes you just have to ride the ride to know how things is going to handle, how things are going to play
Yeah.
out. And I think that's the best piece of advice I can give somebody. Like when it comes to comparison and being jealous and things of that sort, when it comes to business or in life, you just really have to roll with the punches.
Yes. I look, you were talking some good stuff. Now, I met you through and there are some people that, you guys work with a menagerie of people,
Hmm.
and that was said to me when I started was, you know, I'm going to try to do, not going to try, I'm going to do the best that I can do for you. But I want
Hmm.
you to know that it's not going to take 1 month. I want you to know that it's not going to take 2 months,
Yep.
and just having this realistic expectation, right? So how do you
Hmm.
set the standard for your client with having that realistic expectation while they're in limbo, so to speak, while you're trying to help
Hmm.
them build the strategy that's going to help them one day make 1,000 million, the money that they know they deserve?
Hmm.
How do you help them not become envious or jealous of the next person?
It's all about goals. Is what you expect to happen within the next 3 months, 1 year, 5 years. It's so important to put those plans together. But I get more of the envious clients when they're not consistent with reaching out to me or checking in, things of that sort. But those who are super consistent with building their brand and building their business, I don't really see that too often. We have to check in with each other, even if it's not scheduled. I'm just checking in to see how things are going on. How's that marketing plan that you put together? And we check those things off of our list as we achieve them. We cannot be worried about what other people are doing, because when we start looking every which way, we get off track. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And now we have a setback because we want to be worried about what other people are doing, and it really is a distraction. It's a big distraction. People's lives, social media, other people's problems. I used to be so concerned about other people's problems all the time, and then I realized, I'm like, I can't do nothing for you. I can be a lending ear if you need it. Like, I can't, because I got my own things going on. So it gets hard to balance
Yeah.
my life and somebody else's. So I make sure that you find some balance and write those goals and make sure that those goals are attainable, and we keep crossing them off as you get them. And as you cross them off, you add more on there. And I think when you put those kind of methods in place, people can be more focused and not worry about what everybody else is
Absolutely. You hit on this greed topic because I'm not sure of all of the likes of people that you represent, but
doing.
in representing those people, uh, have you ever had someone come to you say, "I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that," and them wanting this, you might, as the strategist, see that, okay, I know that you think you want this and you think you want that, but that might not necessarily line up with, where we're going in this strategic plan that I have for
Hmm.
you. And if that's been the case, how have you talked to those individuals to let them know that this is not the right move for you?
This is what really gets
Am
me
I asking
all
tough
the
questions?
time. This is what gets me all the time. I sit down, and this is why it's so important to have preliminary questions before you meet with the client. Because in the beginning, I wasn't having those conversations. But as time went on
Mhm.
and I was learning, like, oh, okay, I need to put these things in place because I really need to see what the expectations are for these individual brands. Then I can have more of a perspective on how I can go about conversing with them. So putting these preliminary questions in order in the beginning, y'all, is so important because you really get to kind of get to see what where their mindset is. And some
Mhm.
people really do be demanding some not off the wall stuff, but off the wall in the beginning.
Mhm.
It's like, how you talk about making $1 million in a week? Like, how are we doing this? If I can come up with that plan and do it for myself, what's the plan you have to put in order? Because I'm confused. I'm just confused. But I did have those individuals who do come to me with these outrageous dreams, but it's just too premature. It's not saying that they can't
Mhm.
achieve them. because we can all have that desire of making $1 million. We can all have that desire of being an international speaker or whatever it is. But we have to achieve the smaller goals before we get to the bigger goal. We already know what the bigger
Yeah.
goal is. But what we
Yeah.
going to do in the meantime to get there? You can't be an international speaker and never spoke before. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? You can't make $1 million and you can't even make $100 in sales in a week. So we have to. I really sometimes have to bring them all the way back to reality. Sometimes I take off the strategist hat and I talk to them as a human being. Like let's be realistic here.
Mm.
Like what? How do we even go about this? Because what you're asking me to do is not even realistic right now. And I'm not
Mhm.
one to break down anybody's dreams or tell them that these things are not realistic. But people, you really have to reel yourself back in, and once again, stop comparing yourself to other people on social media who's doing things,
Mhm.
and you feel like you need that break too. But everything takes time. Like if you're someone who sells, let's say, hair, you go and you find a hair vendor, you'll buy a hair vendor before you go look for one. You know what I mean? You have to really embrace the process, because these are the things that's going to make you who you are. So then you can be that successful international speaker, because you'll be able to talk about how you did it from the mud. You did it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like you were looking at vendors, you were asking them to send you hair. You were getting designs for your boxes to send your hair in and things of that sort. But when you get everybody to give you everything, you didn't do no work. You don't get the reap the real benefits from
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That is so amazing. To hear you share that, because a lot of times people want that microwave success and they don't understand. You said looking at the devil, social media, you think, for a second that somebody just popped up and they're doing all of these things, and they're necessarily not. There's
it.
like
Nope.
some work that has come behind that, some, like you said, mud that they had to dig up, some trenches that they've been in. And
Hmm.
so, it's not like that. And I look at myself, for an example, as stepping out there into the speaking industry, right? I've been in the speaking industry now for about 3 years.
Hmm.
And literally the other day, I was on a panel, and there were two people who like totally shocked and surprised me with their
Really.
adoration for me and how they've seen me move. And for a second it was just like it's just me. Like it's
Right.
just me. But then it was like, well, you're really doing something. You're making an impact. Your goal setting is impressing upon other people to make their own goals and have those decisions. But overnight, and that was 3 years, and I still don't even feel like how they were so excited about talking with me, or it just still feels like I'm not even there yet. And so just understanding the
Right.
process, because like I said, this is near and dear to me, because I did have those moments of greed. I did have those moments
Hmm.
of envy, and I had to catch myself and check myself, because it was like, wait a minute. Why are you feeling it? Like you're looking at something, you're liking it, or you're giving it a
Right.
heart and you're saying congratulations. But on the inside, you're like, well, when is it my turn? And so I
Right.
really had to check myself. And one way that I checked myself was, I'm not looking at any and everybody I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm doing my business.
Yep.
I'm getting on
Hmm.
there, posting what I gotta post. And like you said, not worrying about everybody else, because I gotta take care of Kiana. And I can't be so consumed. And so I feel that those were some of the things that I had to do to not be in those
Yeah.
spaces, right? Because we're human. We
Yep.
want everything and anything. And those emotions and feelings can creep up like just like you drinking a
Girl.
bottle of water. Like it can happen so quickly. You know, I just wanted to thank you right now for taking the time, because even though social media is the devil, I see all of the great work that you're doing in the community. I don't want to not share some of the things that you're doing before we go. So if you could just share that you have going on.
Oh my goodness. I have a lot of stuff going on. It feels like a lot, but I'm actually now the creator of the Content Collaborative, which is a platform I created for creatives during the pandemic. I felt like being a creative, we were kind of stuck. You know, we're used to being out in the scene, doing things, and we couldn't do that because we were home hibernating, you know? So
Yeah.
I just put a post out there one day. I usually do it twice a year in regards to doing collaborations with different brands. And then somebody happened to hit me up and was like, oh, T, I want to do a photo shoot with you. So I'm like, all right, cool. So the day that the photo shoot came, I had 4 photographers, a videographer, and a stylist. So it was like, after that happened, I was like, I gotta put this like platform together, like a way for all of us to still come together and
Yeah.
still be creative and keep our circle tight because you know COVID is a mess. So we didn't want to have no outsiders. So we basically almost screened everybody that came through. But now we have like a team of maybe like
Yeah.
20, 25 people. It's a mixture of photographers,
Wow.
videographers, makeup artists, stylists, um, just a little bit of everybody, and we're doing some amazing things. We had 2 competitions. I had a regular standard competition, then I had a makeup competition, and we're actually going to take the competition to the DMV area, so I'm going to be excited about that. And we're also talking about a mentorship. Right, we're talking about a mentorship program and also a scholarship.
Awesome. You guys are doing something amazing. And I find that being a creative is and to be able to bring creatives together, build something that's going to be long lasting is something that's going
Mhm.
to be awesome for the kingdom. And I
Yep.
can't wait till you come to the DMV. You can
Yes.
do my my temperature check, and you can do all that great stuff. 'Cause I'm really
Yes.
practicing social distancing. People talking about what you doing for Thanksgiving? Absolutely nothing. We're gonna be zooming it. We're gonna be FaceTiming it. We're
Okay.
gonna, we're going to be messengering it. Like it's not that serious, especially when
Mm-mm.
people that are close to us
Mm-hmm.
are like, for maybe the past 3 months of coming down, talking about, hey, I'm positive.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Batty. I am away
Yep.
from everything. Um, so this is the last part of our interview right now, and everybody who knows about the Healing Incubator podcast knows what's coming up next. If you haven't tuned in, then you don't know. This is oxygen mask time. It's where words can breathe like fresh air. When we inhale motivation, it acts as oxygen, informing our brains to reset our mindset. Please, T, share a minute of motivation that will inspire and transform our viewers and listeners' lives.
Oh man, just keep bossing up. I had to put my own little piece in here. Keep bossing up with purpose and through purpose. Always understand that bossing up in life is not just in business, it is also in life. We make executive decisions in our lives. We go through trials and tribulations that make us who we are, and just keep embracing the journey. So what if you fail? Then you got to get back up and you try again. So keep bossing up, y'all.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Now, I know that there are some creatives out there, some collaborators, some people in business that want to know how they can stay connected with you. How would they do that?
Yes, you guys can like me on Facebook under the Divine Connections Agency and also Purposely Boston Up, and that's Bossin. Also on Instagram, I am the Tiana Experience, and that is Tijania Experience, and also at Purposely Boston Up on Instagram. Or you can just email me at hello@tdc-agency.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. And she didn't even say it, but Purposely Bossing Up is podcast. So you gotta go and make sure you get. I know you're everywhere, right? You're
Yes,
everywhere because that's what
everywhere.
you
I'm
do,
everywhere.
right?
Yep.
That's what you do. So, all right, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in with us for another episode of the Healing Incubator podcast. I pray that this information about jealousy, envy, and greed has allowed for you to actually get to your truth, and in your truth, start to forgive yourself and others so that you can begin your healing journey. I am Kiana F. Brown, your forgiveness expert, and we had the amazing T. Goodwin with us. Now it's time for us to go, but don't forget, we're taking off all of December with guests, but I will be coming in with a short word every single Friday with a dose of oxygen. So stay tuned, because there's going to be a word. I know that God is going to give me fresh revelation, and we'll see you soon. Have an amazing day.